used to think that provision was something you chase, but the book of Genesis quietly suggests something else, that provision can be a consequence and not a pursuit. And once you see the pattern, you cannot unsee it. Genesis paints a pattern that is both simple and unsettling. The river does not lead, it follows. Welcome to episode 2. My name is Kemi. Actually, it is Oluwakemi. One of my goals for starting this podcast is to share what I learn in my walk with God with the hope that it inspires you to shift how you think, what you believe, and ultimately what you do. I like to start out with a question because even in my meditations with God, I ask questions. So here's the question for today. What is your tree? In other words, what has God placed in your hands to cultivate that you may have been ignoring while praying for a river? Genesis is one of my favorite books of the Bible. I love everything about the creation. In Genesis chapter 2, we see a pattern God established for how resources flow on this earth. God planted a garden. In that garden, He planted trees. And as the tree was cultivated, a river flowed out of Eden into the garden, and then it parted into 4 directions. There is so much to unpack there, but today I want to focus on this idea. The river is connected to the garden. The river did not show up as a random reward. It was part of a system. If there is no garden, if there are no trees, there is nothing for the river to flow to. Let that sink in. So often we focus on the river, we chase provisions, we chase resources, but God shows a different pattern. Cultivate what has been placed in your hands and the river will come. This realization brought me so much comfort. It made so much sense why Jesus said we should not be anxious or worry about anything. The question then is, what is the tree in your life? What has God entrusted to you to grow? It could be a business, a 9-to-5 done with excellence, integrity, and purpose. It could be your family, your friends, your community, the book you keep thinking about but have not written, or the song, the skill. Sometimes your tree could also look like consistency, showing up, practicing, building, serving, not waiting until everything is perfect, just planting. Here's the shift I want to offer you today. Stop chasing the river as your first focus. Start cultivating the garden as your first obedience. The river is a response. It flows to what is growing. When you commit to the tree, you create something God can breathe on. So I would end with a simple encouragement. Find your garden and tend to your trees. Write that book. Start the business, apply for the job, sign up for the course, and watch the river flow from Eden to you. Never forget, God has redeemed you, called you by name, and declared that you belong to Him. Thank you for listening, and see you in the next episode.